Hey, what's going on, Facebook? Just wanted to reach out to you. It's Monday. A lot of things still been going on. Excited to be alive. Excited to be here, sharing with you guys today. Today, man, I don't know, man. It just was kind of on my heart to talk about death and really about what it's about. Um, you know, in the substance abuse world, man, we get to the point where we get used to people dying. People die all the time to these diseases, whatever the substance is, or just by behaviors. A lot of things can happen, and I just wanted to talk to you. I'm wearing this shirt. One of my favorite DJs, DJ Screw. Um, you know, um, Listening to that type of music was a lifestyle back then. And in the '90s, man, I did a lot of drugs, and did a lot of things that were inappropriate, unhealthy, a lot of things. For me, I remember when I first started sipping syrup and drinking codeine. I didn't really know anything about substance use like that. And I remember whenever it ran out and nobody had any codeine to buy, I felt sick, but that's about it. I didn't know that I was going through withdrawals. But I tell you, um, yeah, I look at all of the people who, Big Mo, just people in this lifestyle ends up dying at some point. Seem like, and the ones that seem like they keep on living, they're normally the ones that figures it out at some point. You know what I mean? And so I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys, man, because one of the guys that died in Maryland the other day, he lived in Houston, and we used to always talk about Houston, and it was just sad that he was sober for a year before the corona, and then he ended up dying, and it's just sad that that it had to end this way. And the amazing thing about this, and what I told you guys about some of the stuff that I had went through, when I was younger, I went through a very traumatic event. I was molested by a babysitter, and my babysitter, her family went to the same church that I went to, and it happened for about 2 years, and over a period of time, sporadically, and to be honest, man, it was a struggle for me, and whenever I came out of that era of my life, and she moved away. um, I noticed myself really trying to make sense of the world and make sense of people around me. And it's not very often that you hear males talking about being molested, but I'll be honest with you, man. Even though it was a female that did it, it still was very violating, especially at the age of 9 and 10. It's not a very comfortable thing to go through. So I really want to let people know, especially men out there that have maybe went through the experience of being molested. You might want to reach out and talk to people, because I noticed that in my world, I definitely tried my best to I tried my best to live out life trying to make myself feel better, and I noticed that when I was trying to make myself feel better, eventually when I first started to smoke weed, it helped for a little bit, but it didn't really help a lot. And so I noticed myself moving up, and I wasn't ever an alcohol kind of guy, but I did a lot of drugs. I was more of a drug person. And so I remember people used to hang out with me and they used to just kind of wonder, like, man, why is he going so hard? Everybody else would stop. Everybody else would stop using, but I wasn't. I wasn't that type of guy. I was going to go until it all ran out. And so, but when I got older, man, I started to realize, man, I can't just throw my life away. And I remember one day, man, I had a dream. Um, I had a dream that I died, and people and my parents and my family members came in to my family came in to look at everything that was around me. I had my own apartment, and I was just saying to myself, man, if somebody came into my house right now, and if I died, I couldn't explain not one thing to them. All they would do is just see it. They would pick it up. They would look at it. But I know that the way that I was living my life, it was just so that I could feel better. I didn't want to be that kid that was being molested. I didn't want to be that kid that was getting in trouble in school. But what I really wanted to be was I wanted to be a kid that lived a healthy life and had fun. But it took my innocence away so quickly. And so whenever I see people living this life and people just wonder kind of why they just don't stop getting high or why they don't start using, sometimes you might want to ask the question, you know what I mean, what got them there? You know what I mean? Like, people just don't do stuff like that just because they want to get high. It's not because they do this stuff just because they want to get a feeling. It's because they want to numb something. They're trying to get it away from themselves and they're tired of living that way. And so, but the crazy thing about it is a lot of times people die, and there's always somebody that got to pick up the pieces. And so what I wanted to talk to people today, and especially in this Corona era, I mean, people are overdosing left and right, man. I've seen at least, and I know for a fact, if I can give you about 4 or 5 names of people that died during this Corona, and to be honest, there's not going to be a funeral. Like, people aren't going to be able to mourn these losses. It's just like we're seeing it on Facebook, and I don't know what's going to end up happening. I just wanted to talk to you guys, especially about how we live in this life, because we have to live this life. I mean, we can't predict when we're born, and for the most part, we can't predict when we're gonna die. I mean, some people do make a choice to figure out that day, but to be honest, we got a dash in the middle of those dates, and that's what we're living at, and we have some bad days, and we have some good days, but we got to put some things together and definitely try to live now, because I don't want to see anybody die during this time, and if staying at home, staying away from other people is going to keep me alive, I want the same thing for you guys. I want you guys to stay alive too. And anybody suffering with drugs, that might be using or might relapse, I want you to think about what it's going to be like for people going in and picking up the rest of the pieces. What are they going to find out about you that you won't be able to explain to them? So I want you to really think about what you're doing, especially in this time, because some people don't get a second chance. Some people don't snap out of it at the end of the night, and some people just don't wake up. So I don't want to be morbid, but I want to be real, because death is real, and I just want you guys to definitely want to live life, man, because I get it. I get it. It sucks to be locked in the house, but I know for a fact that this will be over. And if we make a decision right now, it could ultimately harm us for the rest of our life or take our life from us. So for all those that are still in recovery, that haven't relapsed, I give you your props. You keep doing what you're doing. I've been getting a lot of messages about people doing good stuff out there. Definitely give back, figure out some ways to give back to the community. That'll be good. And just, man, love yourself. To be honest, if you're going through something, if you're feeling depressed, call somebody. If you want to get in touch with me, get in touch with me. But you got to get in touch with somebody. All right. So love you guys. Hope you guys have fun today. In your house, whatever you're doing, stay doing it. If you relapse, get in touch with somebody. And I want to give a side note to these people that's on probation. I'm gonna tell you, probation ain't over. Probation agents are calling and sending emails like crazy. So if you're on probation and you're supposed to be in treatment, man, make sure that you get in touch with your treatment provider. Because this time is not going to change the fact that you're supposed to be in treatment, and a lot of you guys can be discharged after 30 days. So pay attention to that. Get in touch with your provider so that you don't get violated when all of this is over. All right. So take it easy, man. It's the Cadillac Counselor, man. I'm just trying to reach out, trying to give some positive information. Just get people's minds straight before they fall off and make some decisions that's definitely unhealthy for them. All right. So take it easy. I'll see you tomorrow at 12.